stay tuned because for the next 60 minutes, Motorsports Unlimited is on the air. Hi, I'm Jerry Bryant, and these are the lovely ladies of motorsports. And all this hour, we're going to have 60 minutes of action-packed excitement. All kinds of exciting things will happen. And we got the famous Bill Wilt, and we got all kinds of other good stuff that's happening all this hour. Motorsports Unlimited, 60 minutes of non-stop action. So let's go to the studio right now, huh?
Thanks, Jerry, and hi, everybody. Welcome to the studio headquarters of Chicagoland's hottest TV series. I'm Tim Tarby, and this is the 396th edition of Motorsports Unlimited. Hold on to your hats, because today we're taking you back to Great Lakes Dragaway for our final visit of the season. That's right, folks. As always, we've got great drag racing action. Matter of fact, we've got all kinds of action. And more action. Whoa, let's slow down just a touch and get things started in a little more leisurely fashion by joining Bill and the girls in Union Grove, Wisconsin, and taking a close look at a first-class Super Comp team.
Well, we are once again at Great Lakes Dragway, and our regular viewers will know that last time was a couple of weeks ago, according to the way we schedule these programs, and we got rained out on Labor Day, so we come back. This is actually the following weekend, even though you've seen another show in between. It's too complicated to explain. We come back the following weekend, and lo and behold, what they've got is like a mini Labor Day. We've got jet cars here, we've got great Super Comp cars, we've got alcohol funny cars, we've got Chicago Hitmen, we've got the outlaw cars. I'm going to forget somebody, so there's lots more, but I don't want to forget anybody and offend somebody. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about these great Super Comp cars, and we've got a brand new car out here. This is, as I understand it, a just completed Super Comp car, so we're going to find out a little bit about the class and a little bit about this car specifically. So let's get started first on this end, and you are?
Rich Amato from Worth, Illinois.
And you are?
Rich Kashnick from Bolingbrook.
And?
Vince Amato from Crestwood, Illinois.
And?
Jim Amato from Oak Lawn.
And?
Joe Tortorella from Okina, Illinois.
And?
Shane Schmidt from Okina, Illinois.
And?
Dave Frail from Bridgeview, Illinois.
Okay, let's start at this end. What is your role with the car?
I'm their handyman.
This guy we got to keep. I'd love to find those guys. And your role with the car?
Just a fan.
Just a fan. This is even more important, guys that are enthusiastic about our efforts. And your role?
Help with maintenance.
Another valuable, and I think we saw a lot of Amatos here, so this must got to be family. Go ahead.
I'm the track. I back him up in the track.
Okay, you got the excitement up on the line.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very cool. And your role?
I'm a crew member. I work with Rich on the motor and stuff.
Okay, real valuable folks. And by the way, big team. Nicely done putting this all together. And your role with the car, crew chief, what do you do?
Crew chief, I do oversee all the operations on the car, and I'm also a co-owner.
Okay, well, this guy's super important then if he's co-owner. Now, let me get down here and talk to the driver a little bit. First of all, I want to talk about the Super Comp class generally. Explain the class to our audience so that they understand.
The class itself is an 890 breakout. If you win the race, you run 888, 889, and the other guy wins, you still lose because you got to run the 890 or over to win the race. So it's the closest to the 890 index.
Tell us about your car specifically.
It's a Jacobson chassis built by Troy from Jacobson Race Cars, and it's a big black Chevy, fuel injected on alcohol. Got a 430 gear in the rear end. Headers were made by JT Specialties, and just about everything in the car is all built by Rich Kashnick other than the chassis and the body.
Everything hand-built?
Just about hand-built, yes.
Yes, Allison?
Is that something they do on their own, or can they be sponsored by corporations and different sponsorships?
You're talking about what these guys absolutely, there's golden words to them is sponsorship. You don't even want to say it because that's what these guys die for. Let me ask the crew chief and the part owner, right?
Yeah,
that's what you die for?
help out tremendously. I can vouch for that.
Because this stuff costs money. Motorsport, you want to know how much motorsport costs? It's how much money do you have? And that's kind of what it costs. Anyhow, guys, it's a great car. I wish you the best of luck today, and hopefully we're going to educate our audience a little bit as to what the Super Comp racing is all about. Because do you have any idea how many cars are here today?
In Super Comp, I'd say there's probably 30 cars.
Big class, it always is, yes.
I was just going to ask that because I've never heard the term Super Comp before, so I was wondering if we were going to be able to see some racing today.
Oh, yes, we definitely will. Let me get down because we left the other girls out of this far too long. Let me get down to the other end of this thing. Christine, do you have any idea what you're leaning on there?
Air scoop.
Yeah, well, very good, very good. I meant kind of the whole big block Chevy thing, but
I
that's
thought
fine.
you meant this in particular.
Okay, I want to put you to work right away because you haven't been doing the show for a long time. You've been working behind the scenes, so I'm going to put you to work right off the bat. Please tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
A first-class drag racing team with a brand new car. Hi, I'm Joanna DiStefano, and I want you to see this car in action.
The burnout looked good. Hi, I'm Stacy Hager. Now let's see how the race unfolds. The Amato car is in the far lane. Well, the car went nice and straight, which isn't always easy to achieve with a new racer. Hi, I'm Lori McKeithrin, and while the Amato team lost this round, we're sure the wins will come. Now let's join Allison in the pits as she examines an alcohol funny car with a twist.
I am telling you, I don't think I've ever been more psyched in my life to be over here at Union Grove today. You can't hear because I have a unidirectional mic, but there are jet cars firing up in the back, engines popping everywhere. It's really quite awesome. And because we're walking through here, I wanted to interview the first people that we saw with a Midwest funny car. First of all, let me get your name and where you're from.
Phil Pepler, Hanover Park, Illinois.
Okay, and I take it you're the driver here.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Let's go a little farther down. Your name?
Fran Pepler,
And where are you from?
Hanover Park.
Obviously, husband and wife?
Yes.
And are you the driver?
Yes, I am.
Now, this is great. To me, there is nothing more exciting than when women are actually out there doing this. First of all, why don't you tell me all about this car?
Well, why don't we let Phil tell you a little bit about it?
Okay, we'll let Phil tell us all the details, then we'll get to you on the driving.
It's powered by a 388 cubic inch small block Chevrolet, and we use a power glide transmission to a Dana rear end.
Okay, now with something like the funny cars, Midwest funny cars, is this something that is sanctioned by NCRA? Is that what they're called?
This is an NHRA legal car.
All right, now, do you have to have special limitations that you can put on the engine and motor and all that stuff?
I didn't quite hear you.
Any kind of limitations that you have to stick motor size or anything on these, or you pretty well can do whatever you want?
We can pretty much put any size motor we want in.
All right, now I want to get to the big shot over here, the racer. I also hear that you're the owner.
Yes.
So,
Together.
oh, owner and racer. All right, tell me, how did you get started in doing this kind of racing?
Well, we originally, when we first got married, we had a little car we used to mess around with. Phil always drove, and I always wanted to. So as years went on, he finally let me get in the driver's seat and try it out. And I used to drive a dragster, and then this year we got the funny car.
Well, I'm telling you, I got the opportunity to do it last year, just start driving, and it is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I have a question. How are you competing with the men in this type, and how are they treating you while you're racing with them?
Everybody's great. They're all cheering us on, and it's fun. We're real competitive.
All right, I wanted to ask a question. Bear with me. I'm yelling, but you can't hear the engines in the background. I'm going to do a Bill Wilt question. If I could wave a magic wand over your head, and down the line you could do whatever you wanted in racing, where would you be?
As far as...
I mean, would you be...
Right. Oh, in the race car forever.
And where would you go? Would you want to be an Indy?
In a jet.
Me and her are alike. I'm going to have to talk to her after the interview. Let me get down here. Could you tell us your name and where you're from?
Franny Pepler, and she's my mom, and I'm from Hanover Park, Illinois.
Isn't it cool that your mom is a race car driver?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is this something you were planning on doing when you get older? Do you want to drive, or do you have more fun just being a spectator?
I want to drive eventually.
Oh, another one. I love this. And who do we have down here?
Fran Keener.
And who are you, and where are you from?
From Chicago, and I'm Franny's mother.
Oh, how wonderful. How about you as a mother? Do you have your heart in your throat all the time when she's racing, or is this something you fully back her on?
I back her on it.
It's wonderful. How about you? Would you like to get in one of these cars and drive?
No.
Okay, we got one more person down here. Who are you, and where are you from?
I'm Bob Churchill from Joliet, Illinois.
And how are you affiliated with this car and this team?
I'm the circuit director of the circuit and sort of help these guys out when they need some help.
How about you? Do you do any driving yourself?
Yes, I drive.
Oh, how exciting. Bill, I think we got it all covered. We've got a race car driving lady, a daughter who wants to follow in her footsteps, and man, she's cool.
Okay, did you find out why they call it pepper shaker?
No, that I didn't.
Oh,
you have to do all
I'll
that.
have to do all that. I would like this young woman to turn around so the camera can see the back of her shirt. And I don't know, John, can you comment on that? It's actually, I think, a cute play on words that the name is Pepler Racing and the car is the Pepper Shaker. Let me see okay, you can turn back around. We never want the pretty girls to not face the camera. Do I have it right? Did I guess?
Yes.
Okay, there's a very cute play on words. I think Allison got everything, but I've got one more job to do. So I would like to get you and you and you, the three of you come out here. Come right on out here. Right in front of this great car so the audience can get one more look at it. If you guys will all get real close together, just like that. And I want the three of you to look at our camera over there, and I want you to
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. What a great family racing effort. Now, while the dragsters and funny cars are very cool, let's not forget there are other ways to go drag racing. Watch.
In addition to class racing, where we have specific classes or even ET brackets, there's another way to drag race, and that's called match racing. We've got a couple of match racers here. We're going to get back to this car. It's this great yellow that I always painted my race cars. So obviously we'll get back to that one, but I want to come over here. This is the fellow that he's going to match race again. This is no particular classes. This is just guys that think they can handle each other. We're going to find out about it. And first of all, you are, and where are you from?
Vince Lang from Darien, Illinois.
And you are?
Tom Burns, Midlothian, Illinois.
And what's your role with the car?
I am a mechanic and pit crew.
Okay, I'll find out how good a job you do. What kind of numbers do we turn?
910, 148.
And that's with a small block.
Small block Chevy.
That's picking them up and laying them down. Now, this thing, a little short car like this has got to be awful busy at the end of the quarter.
Not really. It's built good. It tracks straight. At night, you know, if the track gets dewy, it'll skate around a little bit, but most of it, I mean, any faster than that, I think I might have some problems.
Exactly. Okay, you're the guy that built a lot of this stuff. Tell us about it. What have we got for engine, driveline, and the rest?
350 Chevy, basically, with a turbo 400 trans, and for a small block, it turns some good numbers.
And I have a feeling one of the reasons that you're not in trouble on the high end is because it is a small block, relatively small displacement. You don't have the huge torque when you get into high gear.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so it's controllable then.
Very controllable.
What do you think? Can you handle this great yellow Camaro next to you?
I should be able to handle him. If I can leave the line good enough, he cuts some pretty good lights.
Can he do better numbers than you?
I don't think so.
Okay, this is going to be a good race. Hold on, don't run away. Let me get down over here and we'll talk about the car that he's going to race against. We got a great Camaro here. First of all, your name and where you're from.
Pete Demo, Chicago, Illinois.
And?
Jim Agnes, Chicago, Illinois.
What's your role with the car?
I'm with Pete's partner.
Okay, you're the driver?
Both drive, we both drive.
You guys, okay, who's quicker?
I'm going to take my place one of these days.
Who's quicker?
Well, I'm the best so far.
Okay, is that true?
He's quicker, but I'm faster.
Okay, tell us about the car. What have we got?
It's a 1989 Camaro. It's a 427 60 overbore, which is a 440 cubic inch, 850 carburetor and power glide transmission with a 488 rear end.
What kind of numbers do we do with it?
When best of 915, 149 miles an hour.
So you guys are close then.
Well, I got him twice last night. I beat him.
Well, now, he didn't tell it that way down over there. No.
Oh.
Now, let me ask you this. You're running a big block, so you've got big displacement. This car's got to be busy then at the high end and the end of the trap.
7,200 RPMs. I go through about, it's not bad. About
Getting sideways?
No, straight as an arrow.
Really run straight?
Driving a Cadillac.
Okay, Allison?
I have a question. I see parachutes on both these cars. Is this the type of speed that they would need for parachutes, or is that something just for showmanship?
No, I would think
showmanship.
I would think with heavy cars like this, you're going to need them at the end, right?
Well, this car is light, Bill. This car weighs 2,100 pounds. It's a real light car.
That is light. It looks heavier.
It's all fiberglass, the body.
Okay, well, listen, we are getting the wind-up sign here. We've got to shut this down. I wish both of you guys the best of luck here. I want to make sure we keep the middle girls here in the act. Again, folks, this is another way of drag racing. These guys are just going to match race each other, and they don't care what the rules are. Girls, no, we've got it. We're at the end of the day, but I'm sorry. Please tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Well, which car do you think was faster? Let's see if you're right.
close race all the way down, but at the end, it was Vince Lang and his Blue Vega taking the win. Now let's get back to the pits because Allison just found one of those great jet dragsters.
As Bill was saying earlier, when you come to these events, there are so many different types of cars. You've got everywhere from the funny cars to the wheel standers, but I have to admit, my absolute favorite are these unbelievable jet cars. Okay, we're down here with Damn Yankees. First of all, I want to get the driver's name and where he's from.
Jim Lutz, Stager, Illinois.
And the pit chief over here, your name and where you're from.
I'm Dave Magee out of Crete, Illinois.
Okay, who's the best one to tell me about the car? All right, Jim, tell me, what kind of jet car do we have here?
This is a jet dragster. It's got a J85 General Electric motor. We've built the whole car ourselves.
Oh, you did this all yourself?
Everything. And the fastest mile an hour is 305, and the best ET is 522.
Okay, was the 305 since they've changed the rule that you can go that, or was it before where you got fined?
I can't tell that.
Okay, well, we're not going to say that. All right, tell me, how long have you been driving the jet car?
2 years.
Oh.
I've had top fuel cars in the late 60s, all through the 70s, and an alcohol dragster in the 80s, and then now the jet.
Okay, I don't mean this is anything nasty or anything, but generally when you see the race car drivers today, we have a lot of real young, anywhere from 18, 19, 20. Can I ask you how old you are, or is that a no-no?
You can ask me.
How old?
54.
And you're still driving these. Is it easy? Is it hard? Does it make it any more difficult when you get older?
No, it doesn't. You have all the experience, and it makes it a little easier.
Okay, so in other words, though, you didn't just start with a jet car. You've been racing quite all your life.
Right, since 1956.
Okay, so your high mile an hour is 305. Is there any way we're going to be able to see one of those today?
I'm not quite sure on account of the weather. It's a little warm. The motor doesn't like to react in the warm weather.
Well, I'm going to be looking forward to at least a real good ET in time. How about that?
I'll do the best I can.
Okay, let's get down to the pit chief here. What exactly is your functions as being a pit chief?
I start the car, I tow it, and I work on it.
So pretty well, it's up to you if this thing's going to run pretty good.
Yep, I'm the guy.
How about you? Have you ever had any intentions of driving it?
Not yet.
Want to try sometime?
Love to. I'd love.
They are really awesome. Bill?
Allison, I think once again you've covered everything. It's getting to be where you're not going to need me at all anymore because I sure wouldn't look good in a costume.
But I would miss you.
But now, wait a minute. Christine's got a question. Christine, step over here so you can reach the mic.
Bill, I actually have two questions. My first question is, we did several shows with our girls here at the Grove teaching them how to drag race. Now, I'd like to know, does the same thing happen with the jet cars? They just come here and they, put them through the ropes?
Okay, she's asking about how a person gets checked out in a jet car, and I'm going to give you my presumption that you have to make non-afterburner passes and bring the speed up, and officials have to watch you and certify you as you go up. Do I have it about right?
That's quite correct. You have to make about 20 runs without the burner, and then 4 runs 3 days, so you get a total of 12 with the burner. Mild passes and then faster and faster.
Right, so they want to work you up slowly so you don't get in trouble. I'll be right with you, Allison. Hold it. We've got another question here from Christine. Yes.
Okay, also, we did a show on top fuel dragsters, and the work that the crew people have to do is just awesome. Now, I'm wondering, what type of maintenance do they do on this motor? Like, do they actually tear the motor apart, and how often do they have to do that?
I can answer this question, and they can tell me if I'm right or wrong. That is the beauty of the jet dragsters. The problem with the top fuelers, as stunning as they are, and as fast as they go, and as spectacular as they are, and they, just like the jet cars, bring the crowds to the fences. Despite all of that, the fact of the matter is they are enormous maintenance hogs and cost thousands of dollars when you're prorated over the passes. The beauty of the jets is these reasons require very little maintenance, minuscule compared, and if I don't have that right, please.
That's exactly true.
That's why you're doing these, because you used to do top fuelers.
I used to do top fuel, and I couldn't afford it anymore.
The costs are just enormous because of that. Allison, you had another question?
2 questions that I should have asked them when I had the microphone and they didn't. Are all the jet car drivers that we have met or see, are they generally all touring jet cars, or are there jet car drivers that stick at a specific track?
No, I'll tell you how that works. Because the jet cars are not a real class, and what I mean by that is that the granddaddy of all the things is the NHRA, and the NHRA doesn't have a class for these things. They've been petitioning the NHRA, that's the National Hot Rod Association, for years and years and years to make this a class because the crowd loves it. They've certainly proven themselves to be safe. There's no question about it. I think we are literally months away from having a real class, but until that happens, these guys are all touring professionals racing each other sort of on a match race basis. And if I didn't explain it right, help me.
That's exactly right again. Our association, the Pro Jet Association, has been working 3 years trying to get us a class so we can actually compete against each other for points.
I think you're that close to it, yes.
And one other thing, when he was explaining earlier what it takes to be licensed in the jet car, he was saying first you make the Piazzas 20 or so without the burners and the poppers. By adding in the burners and the poppers, does that make it a more complicated thing to drive, or is it just a couple buttons you're pushing while you're waiting for? I mean, does it make it more complicated?
It doesn't make it more complicated to drive, but I'm going to tell you something. When you hit that burner switch, it is like getting kicked in the back by 1,000 mules. Have I got it right?
That's also true. The runs without the burner go about 180 miles an hour in about 8 seconds. And with the burner, it goes in the 5s at over 280, so you're 100 miles an hour faster.
Exactly, and you don't want guys pulling that trigger until they've gotten real familiar with how the car behaves at speed.
I was just going to say, if you don't have your foot on the brakes, you're going to be going down without wanting to.
You're exactly right. And Chris, I think you had one more?
Yeah, I'm curious, when you do have to work on the engines, what would you work on?
Okay, what do you have to work on a jet motor?
Mainly we work on the afterburner, but there are times when we work on the compressor section itself, and that takes a long time, like 2 months to take it apart and put it together properly. So we do that during the winter.
Okay, and these things don't require much teardowns, and for our motorsport audience, essentially the way a jet engine works is you've got a compressor in the front that takes in air, compresses it into the burner cans where fuel is injected into the burner cans. It's ignited, comes out the back, and it does two things. It creates thrust, which is of course what you want to use, but it has to do something else. You have to have some way of driving that compressor in the front, so they got some fan blades in the back that the thrust goes through first before it comes out of the back, and that drives the compressor in the front. Have I got it about right?
You know more about it than I do.
Well, I bet I'm right, huh?
You're right on the money.
See, he knows. I'm right on money. Guys, listen, this has been great. I know they're calling you all the touring pros up to the line now, so I don't want to hold you any longer. One thing real quick, John, if you can, swing your camera shot over here, because if you'll remember, we got rained out here a couple of shows ago, and we had the girls all up on the starting line. This is the Heat Factory. We did an interview with George here last time, and I don't know whether you girls know it, but this guy is going to give you guys all the thrill of your life. Now, I hope this doesn't get rained out today, because we got a treat in store for the fans, and it's going to be a real shock for you guys. So if you guys put together, please tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right there.
I wonder what Bill was talking about when he said the Heat Factory jet car had a thrill in store for our girls. Well, I'm sure we'll soon find out. But before we do, let's take a moment to meet them.
Hi, I'm Chris Schutz.
I'm Crystal Kuchan.
I'm Peggy O'Donnell.
And I'm Allison Demore.
Thank you, girls. Now, let's find out what Bill meant when he said the girls were in for a thrill. I'll say that's a thrill. Imagine standing within a few feet of a jet car during its fire show. And if that wasn't enough, the girls stood with the starter between the two jet cars as they raced. Watch.
It's a win by the Heat Factory, and I hope you saw our girls standing in the middle. They'll sure never forget. Now, let's watch as Dan Yankee begins to move into position.
It's hard to believe our girls were standing right next to the Heat Factory when they were doing that. Now Jim Lutz is in position. Let's watch his solo pass. The air temperature was high, preventing a great run this early in the afternoon. But later in the day, Jim Lutz broke the track record. Unfortunately, the run ended in a devastating crash, totally destroying the damn Yankee. Miraculously, Jim was fine. Whew. Now let's return to the pits for a look at still another kind of drag racing weapon.
Well, let me tell you something. We just got back from the racetrack, and all I can say about this car is wow. I mean, not only is it absolutely beautiful, but I mean, wow, this car is unbelievable. I've got to go talk to these people. First of all, what is amazing is on a warm day like this, it's generally a very difficult time getting fast speeds because of the weather. I saw this car hit a 200-mile-an-hour pass at a, what was the ET?
698.
698. Wow, and it is so loud. It's nitro. Anyway, let me get all the details. First of all, who are you, your name, and where you're from?
Hi, I'm Sue Miner from Rolling Meadows, Illinois.
And you?
Jim Miner, Rolling Meadows, Illinois.
This good-looking guy. What's your name and where are you from?
Cole Stevens, and I'm from Oblong, Illinois.
And you up here?
I am Jay Miner from Rolling Meadows.
And you?
Rex Stevens from Oblong, Illinois.
All right, first of all, which one is the driver here? I want to go directly to him. Okay, Mr. Driver, first of all, what an unbelievable PS. I have never personally seen any of the nitro cars run. This was unbelievable. Tell me all about the car.
This is the world's fastest hot rod. It's a 34 Ford.
I believe it's the world's fastest. It was awesome.
Jerry Dawson owns it and built it. You know, we just have a ball with this thing.
All right, what kind of engine is in this?
It's got a 392 Chrysler Hemi burning nitromethane.
Oh, that's a Hemi, and no wonder I love it. I love Hemis. Okay, now is this something you can run other things in, or is it strictly a nitro car? Wow, I just can't tell you how loud and powerful that was.
Yeah, we do a couple of car shows a year that we drive it in. So if you look at the car, it leaves a little thought to whether maybe we really could drive it on the street.
Well, it is absolutely gorgeous. And this guy down here, first of all, I want to give you a pat on the back. I saw you working on the car in between after the run, getting ready for the next run. And boy, you seem like you know what you're doing in there.
Well, not really. I just kind of do what my dad tells me to do.
You look great. Are you really interested in this kind of thing?
Yeah, I like it.
Are you going to be racing pretty soon?
Uh-huh.
I betcha. You're going to be really great. Okay, can you tell me what's your part of with the car?
Anything, any kind of maintenance, as far as after every run, you know, you check the clutch, tires.
So you do all the groundwork that gets the car moving?
Right.
Okay. And over here, I've got Dad, I take it?
Right, I'm Jim.
Okay, Jim, tell me, what do you do with the car and the team?
Okay, I'm the crew chief, overlook everything, and I do the top of the motor between runs and underneath every day.
You know what I wanted to ask? I did see you guys all working on it in between. What has to be done between after each pass?
Well, we check to make sure the valves are all in line. We make sure that we've had good oil pressure every run. Sometimes we have to pull the pan down, check all the bearings, make sure it's okay.
So pretty well right after a pass, you're all running around trying to get it ready for the next pass?
That's right, yes.
Okay, and we've got Mom over here. What a proud woman you have to be. That was incredible.
It was, yes.
And what else do you do with the car?
Oh, I drive the tow truck. I provide the food. I'm the gopher.
So this is
whatever needs to be done.
So this is truly a family affair.
Yes, it is. We love it.
And not to mention, these people are all so wonderful. They watch motorsports every week, and that's what I like about them.
Yes, we do.
Well, first of all, let me tell you, congratulations on a wonderful run, and she says they're going to run better next time.
You got it. Over 200.
And when you look at the footage, you might see me in the back sneaking a peek. Bill?
Allison, I don't know if you got it or not, but the real big story here is, because I know you're not that familiar because you're too young, this kid is way too young, you're too young, you're too young, you're actually too young. These guys maybe remember at one time these cars we're talking about in the late 50s and early 60s. These were maybe the most exciting cars at the drag strip because they used the same engines as the top fuel dragsters with a much shorter wheelbase, and they were awesome, doing full smoky burnouts all the way down the drag strip and in the traps going sideways from side to side. You must be old enough to remember that.
Well, yes, and they were wild. Wild Willie Borst was probably the one that made it the most famous. Yeah.
Say, you remember the class I'm talking?
Yes, drove one-handed all the time.
The fuel coupes were absolutely awesome, and it looks like you guys are recreating a piece of that.
Yes, we are. We're trying to bring them back and start a little circuit.
Okay, hold on. Yes.
You know what? I was very surprised for the size of the car and being a nitro car in the jet engines. I was doing kind of a comparison. You feel the ground shake even with the nitros. It surprised me.
No, it shouldn't surprise you. There are two kinds of dry strip cars that bring the crowds to the fences. Number one, the jets. Everybody comes running. Number two, the nitro cars. The nitro cars shake the ground, and more than that, and the audience won't get this unless they attend one of these things, they actually pound your chest. You can actually feel.
Yeah, I was behind them the whole time. Well, like I said, you're going to see my little head peeking. But awesome.
Now, absolutely awesome. I'm glad to see. And right now, I don't know if our audience hears it. We've got all kinds of drag racing going on in the background. I don't know if they can hear me. But apparently you're doing this as like a nostalgia class and trying to develop the class.
That's correct. We're trying to get everybody interested
like
again.
The Chicago Fire class.
Right, yes.
Exactly. Boy, I wish you luck. These cars were always very entertaining and fun to watch. Now, can I put you to work for a second?
I hope so.
Okay. Oh, I'll bet she thinks she knows what I want her to do. Come right out here in front of this great car. We'll take one more look at it. So I want you to do it right here. Now, I don't have to tell you. Okay, look at our camera right over there and tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
She does watch.
Let's take a look at the run that Dawson's Demon made that had Allison so excited. First, the burnout.
I see why Allison was so excited. Nitro cars are awesome ground pounders. Now, let's see the run. There it is, over 200 miles per hour and in the sixes, the world's fastest hot rod, a classic nitro coupe. Now let's return to the pits and learn a little more about this nitro stuff.
To see the interest in the nostalgia style racing. I can tell our audience that this takes me back many years to the old Oswego Dragway where I saw the Guzzler and the Chisler run and one of the first 200 mile per hour passes ever made in the country, although I've got to admit Alton, Illinois was first with 204 with Chris Carmazini's. These were the kind of cars we watched race. Without asking him, I am betting we're talking about a 392 Chrysler Hemi, supercharged, fuel injected, nitro burning. Do I have it close to right?
Oh, you're definitely right on the number here. This is a 1957 iron motor with 1955 iron heads on it. It's all Vintage Race Association legal. And we are currently the quickest and fastest east of the Rockies, which is 6.50 seconds and 218.97 miles an hour.
Very impressive. And first, let's get your name and where you're from.
I'm Nitro Neil Basiglia, and this is my crew, the Firepower Flyer Racing Team. Right-hand man, AA Doug Becker.
Okay, I'm going to get each one of them. Where are you from?
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
And you are?
Doug Becker.
From?
Excuse me?
Where are you from?
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Okay, let me get down here. And you are?
Bill Hyde, Kenosha,
from?
Wisconsin.
And?
Dave Magee.
From?
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
What do you do with the car?
Pardon?
What do you do with the car?
Part of a crew member, I work mainly with the heads.
Okay, and what do you do with the car?
Oil man, clutch, cover.
Let me see your hands. Yeah, he's got lots of burns. That's the clutch guy. Okay, let me come down here. And what's your role with the car?
I guess you could term it crew chief, but basically it's definitely a team effort. You know, we all put our minds together and, you know.
Exactly right. There's no way that you can do a fuel car without lots of people working on it. Folks, there's no way to explain how much work this guy is. I'm a hustler and I'll work my tail off, but I don't know about the third or fourth teardown. I think I'm ready to lose a round, but apparently you guys don't feel that way.
Oh no, we never give up.
Okay, what do you guys want to do eventually? I mean, you got a well-turned-out team here, a great nostalgia car. Apparently there's an organization for this now. What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, right now we're trying to be the quickest and fastest iron motor Vintage Race Association legal car. And we were on that pass last week and then the parachute fell off. 190 at half track.
What track? At this track?
This track.
Well, there's not a lot of shutdown room here. That had to be exciting.
It was interesting.
Did you get it into the sand or no?
No.
Okay, well listen, I know they're calling you guys up there again. I wish you the best of luck. A fine piece of work. You guys have to be congratulated. We've got our girls back here that I have kept out of this. This is the first interview we haven't had Allison participating. Oh, wait just 1 minute. One of the reasons I wanted to talk to these guys is I wanted an explanation on how to mix fuel. Do you have time to do that? Okay, wait 1 second. Girls, down here. Girls, I want you to hear that. Come down over here. We often talk about nitro fuel and how these guys mix it and the amount of percentage of fuel you use. Some of the big time guys are up like Bernstein's up at 98% nitromethane. You guys run about 80%. Give us an idea what all that means.
5%. What that means is that 80% nitromethane and 20% methanol. The methanol helps light the nitromethane because nitromethane by itself is kind of hard to light. Not only that, but it's quite abusive to the internal combustion engine. And the way you mix it is basically by volume. You start off and you get it close. Then you come and you put a sample of the fuel you're going to put in the tank inside of this beaker right here, and then you put this tester inside of the beaker. Now this tester right here tells you the percentage, and at the bottom here it's got a thermometer which compensates for temperature of the fuel so that you can accurately reproduce a percentage so that you can use it as a tuning device, because the higher the percentage of nitromethane, the leaner the engine will go, and vice versa. So it's a tuning device. The percentage that you run in the car, we vary from 80 to 85%.
Allison, you were going to ask.
You have to be a master of chemistry now also.
Well, you do that in all of motorsports, but as far as the chemistry is concerned, particularly in fuel racing, because I'm going to tell you something. If these guys were to run this thing up to, say, 98% nitro, they might be able to double the horsepower of the motor, but they're also going to blow the bottom end out of the motor a lot. But if you're running, say, at the Bernstein level and with the big top fuel guys across the country, you have to do that. That's why they lose so many motors. These guys, on the other hand, can dial it down a little bit, run 80-85% nitromethane, maybe give up 1,000 horsepower, but on the other hand, maybe get the engines to last a little longer.
Make it to the end of the track. You got to make it to the end of the track to win.
You're exactly right, yes.
How many gallons of gas are needed for each pass?
No gasoline at all. It's nitromethane and alcohol.
Starts with that. We wash the parts with the gas.
Okay, she wants to know how many gallons you went through.
It's about 5 gallons.
About 5 gallons at $50 a gallon, so it's not exactly cheap.
Yeah, it can add up after a while.
Okay, no question about it. Again, I know they want to call you guys up. We thank you for the explanation. I hope it helps folks.
Better living through chemistry.
Better living through chemistry. Nicely done. And girls, while we're down here, please tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Now let's see what Nitro Neil looks like in action. First, the burnout.
Wow, the nitro cars are wild. Now, let's see that race. It's Nitro Neil in a close one. Now let's return to the pits because nitro and gasoline aren't the only way to drag race. Let's not forget the alcohol cars.
I am telling you, these people, we've got some of the most beautiful, wonderful cars here today. And I'm going to take a guess here. Is this a nitrous funny car?
This is an alcohol blown or injected funny car.
Okay, I guess I'll never know it for sure. But all right, first of all, let me get everybody's name and where you're from.
I'm Bruce Carlson. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And I take it you are the owner and driver of this car?
Owner, driver, yes.
All right, let me get down real quick, get everybody else. Sure. I'll come back and talk to you. Okay, name and where you're from and what you do with the car.
I'm Tony. I'm from Minneapolis, and I take care of a lot of the stuff, the safety, parachutes, fuel, a lot of stuff.
Well, that's important. Okay, name, where you're from, and what you do with the car.
I'm Paul Thompson from Minneapolis. I work with Bruce and put together the car originally, and during the week I work on squad cars.
Wow.
The fastest one I work on.
Yeah, this one, if you get pulled over by this one, I'm sure you would not get away as quickly. Same thing.
Hi, my name is Mike Tippler. During the week, I run a rods and restoration shop, and on the weekends, we get to turn wrenches on the world's best little hot pursuit funny car a guy could want to turn wrenches on.
Oh, it sure is awesome. Okay, name where you're from, what you do with the car.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm from Davenport, Iowa, and I'm a helper.
What exactly do you do?
Pack the parachute and put in the gas.
Well, that's important. Where you're from, name, and what you do.
Doug Tippler from Roseville, Minnesota. Just pit assist and whatever they need.
And you?
My name is Richard Metallic. I'm from Davenport, Iowa, and I kind of help out a little bit on everything.
Okay, first of all, if we can just have you step out a second. Look at this great shirt. They've got a wonderful pit crew. They're all together, all coordinated. What showmanship also. We've got beautiful business cards here, so explaining all about the car, what they do. But I'm going to go all the way back down to Bob Carlson, or Bruce Carlson, I'm sorry. We're going to get all the specifics on the car. Okay, Bruce. First of all, the card is really nifty. I've read it, but you got to tell our audience all about this beautiful car.
Well, the car is like the car.
No reading off that. We want it right from your mouth.
It's a 430 cubic inch big block Chevrolet. It's got an 871 blower on it. Like I said, it's injected on alcohol. It's got a Lenco transmission, 3-speed, 456 rear end.
Okay, I want to know what the significance to these cops T-shirt is.
Well, I'm a cop, and Paul works for the police department, and all my friends are police supporters, so we figured this is a good theme for the car.
Well, I will tell you, if I was speeding, I don't think I'd be able to get away from you.
Not if I was driving this car.
Okay, another thing I wanted to ask you. What kind of numbers are you turning and ET?
Well, we try to run 750, but we've gone as fast as 720.
What kind of mile per hour would that be?
We've gone from 190 to about 180. That's it.
Wow. And now this is also something now you go traveling for. This isn't something you just do at local. You go on do shows.
We're a hired show. We travel to Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Missouri, Tennessee.
Kentucky got them all yelling all different stuff. All right, now I want to know, how can you be an officer of the law if you are never in your hometown?
Well, sometimes you have to do your thing away from where people know you, and this is a good example of that.
Well, God bless you. Bill, come on in.
Well, Allison, I couldn't hear a single word, but I'm sure that you did everything very well. The only thing I want to make sure that you touched on is that this gentleman happens to be a police officer.
We got it.
You got all that in. So I want the folks out there to know that are worried about their sons, and even a few daughters out there that want to get involved in drag racing. We've even got cops out here, right?
That's right.
And they make sure that everything goes nice and smoothly at the tracks.
You bet. So we've got all kinds of people participating in motorsport. Once again, these are great alcohol funny cars, and you guys always put on quite a show. We appreciate your time. And Allison, I hope the audience can hear a little bit the background speaker so they know why we're hollering.
It's so funny. Just because I'm not used to that unidirectional mic, I feel like I am screaming in it. So if I am, I apologize. I'm not used to all these loud cars.
We're doing the best we can, folks. And Allison, as long as I've got you here, let's give the audience one more look at this great car. Come right out here and tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
There was an outstanding array of alcohol funny cars on hand. Let's look at another.
We've got another one of these gorgeous alcohol funny cars, but I think we've got something funny going on here because this does not look like Alan Ayers, the pilot. Is that you in there, Alan?
No, it's not. This is Peggy.
Boy, we got one of our girls trapped in there. These girls, I'm telling you, they can talk their way into anything. First of all, you are?
I'm Alan.
Alan?
Alan Ayers.
I said it right then?
Yeah, you did.
That's amazing. Where are you from, Alan?
I'm from Roselle, Illinois.
Okay, and you are?
I'm Dan Farr. I'm from Wooddale, Illinois.
And what do you do with the car?
I'm the crew chief on the car.
So you're the one that builds the motors and puts it together and all that?
Just keeps it running. That's basically it.
Does he break a lot of stuff?
No, not usually.
Okay, that's good. That's why you keep a crew chief. Tell us about it. What have we got here?
Hey, it's actually a 93 Corvette body. The word name Wild Horse was made by my wife.
Well, that's great. Where's your wife today?
Home.
Oh, that's a shame. We could have put her on also. What kind of chassis, engine, and driveline?
The motor's a 496-inch Keith Black Chevy motor. It's got a 91 Ron Cox chassis in it, and that's about all of it.
Okay, what kind of numbers are we doing?
We run on a 750 index, so they try to keep us right around there. The car should be capable of running somewhere around 690 to about 200.
Wow, Allison?
I was going to say, here again you have another example of them naming these cars that don't look anything like the cars.
What do you mean?
Corvette.
Well, it is, if you had a Corvette next to it and you started looking at some of the things, like these guys have a real cool saying on the back here. Go ahead and we'll take a shot of this afterwards. Tell our audience what it says back there.
It says alcohol in the tank, not behind the wheel.
Because these are alcohol funny cars, and that's a great statement to make.
It is a great statement, but what does it have to do with Corvette?
Well, I don't think you quite understand the art
don't
form.
think I ever will.
The art form involved with this. We think this looks like a very cool Corvette.
Bill, when I interview, I don't even ask that question because I know I'll get into a big thing. Now, why would you possibly call this a Corvette? do a whole show on that.
No, because look at the taillights. Don't they look like Corvette to you?
Oh, well, all right. Well, it's about that much.
It's a caricature of a Corvette. Do I have it right?
It is a Corvette body, but it's actually about 4 feet longer than it's supposed to be.
It's a caricature.
Right, exactly.
Okay, guys, thanks for spending a little time with us. It's a great car. I want to congratulate you. It's beautifully put together. Now I want to find out what our girl is doing in here, and I don't even know how we can talk to her. If we can flip this up, which is one of the ways the guys get rid of the fumes in there. Peggy, I want your reactions. Tell us your reactions to what you see inside.
I see an incredible, awesome car. I can just imagine myself driving this thing right now, just taking off and saying, see ya.
I couldn't hear any of that because they just made a run while you were talking. But what I want to know is, would you like to drive this?
You bet I would, Bill. I'd be out of here.
Okay. Yes.
Even though it doesn't look like a Corvette to me, they are awesome looking.
Would you like to drive one of these?
Oh, sure. I'd love to. I'd try it.
Now, I'm going to try this. I shouldn't do this. And, Chuck, you're going to have to tell me if this is doable at all. Peggy, I want you to tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
The cars look like showpieces, but they're actually race cars. Let's watch wild horses warm the tires. Those look like wild horses to me. Let's watch the race. It's wild horses with the win, but it's time for the more serious part of motorsport. A couple of weeks ago, we told you Great Lakes Dragway had been sold after 40 years of Broadway Bob ownership. Let's take a few minutes to talk further about it and meet with the new owners.
I don't want anybody to ever say that Motorsports Unlimited doesn't bring you the news. As a matter of fact, last weekend, which was 2 shows ago or however we've got it scheduled, we talked to Broadway Bob about the fact that he has sold the drag strip, and we've explained that this is 40 years. This is the 40th year since Great Lakes Dragway has been in existence, and Broadway Bob created it along with his wife, literally digging it out of the ground with your bare hands. That's not an overstatement, is it?
It sure isn't.
You did it that way. We've talked to him before about that in the program, but like anyone else, Bob, you're not a kid anymore. We told the audience before, how old are you?
65. In fact, I'll be 66 time you see this on the air.
Okay, so it's kind of time to slow down a little bit. I am delighted to hear we explained last week, even though he pulled up in a chauffeur-driven limousine, and the fact that, yes, I guess he did sell the track. He's now in a chauffeur-driven limousine, but he's not really leaving us. For at least the next 3 years, you're going to be a consultant, and you're going to be here all the time, just like we're used to seeing, right?
I'm looking forward to working with the new owners. I really am. Consultant, advisor. I'll give him all the help I can possibly do.
Okay, I want to make sure that he takes it easy a little bit too, 66, you know. But I want to talk to the guys that are the new owners. In fact, it's a group of folks, and I want you to meet them because we have had literally 1,000 phone calls. from people that want to know what's going to happen. Are we going to lose another racetrack? Because we've all seen the racetracks close before. We all saw Oswego go, and we all saw US 30 go, and so on and so forth. It is definitely going to stay a racetrack, and I've got the guys here that can say that. First of all, please reintroduce yourself to our audience. Our regular viewers will remember that you were with the Mofoco group when we did the thing about the Volkswagen Beetles, but please reintroduce yourself again.
I'm Randy Henning from Mofoco. I own Mofoco Enterprises, a Volkswagen place that brought you Bugfest for the last 3 years, right here at this facility.
Exactly right. Don't run away. And please go ahead, Ray. Explain. Reintroduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Ray Drew, also from Mofoco. I'm the promoter of Bugfest, and been racing here. I'm also an alcohol funny car racer as well.
That's right. This is an unusual guy. Not only is he into heavy duty, into Volkswagens and all that, but surprisingly, he's also got an alcohol funny car.
Absolutely.
It's an odd combination. One of these days, we'll find out more about it. And you are.
Good day. My name is Marcel Cooper, and I just so happen to be a certified public accountant.
This guy keeps the books. I know what's coming.
Fraud examiner and also personal financial specialist. My company is based out of Wheeling, Illinois.
Okay, and you are one of the group that got put together to buy this place.
That's correct.
Okay, guys, I want a one-word answer from you, one at a time. Is it going to stay a drag strip?
Most definitely. We are going to keep things the same, but there will be changes, and the changes will be for the better.
Okay, one word, going to be a drag strip?
Absolutely.
Going to be a drag strip?
Yes, it will.
Okay, we are all relieved to hear that and absolutely delighted. And I want to tell you guys something. You've got, and I know you know this, you've got really big shoes to fill. Broadway Bob, for the past 40 years, not just here on a Sunday, not just here on a Saturday, 5 and 6 days a week, week after week after week, year after year after year, running this place by himself, literally with the help of his family and some close friends. You guys know what you're in for?
Well, that's why we've got 3 people. It's going to take at least 3 people to do the work that Broadway does. And then we're going to keep him here, too, because we're not going to be able to do it all without him.
You're exactly right. This is not going to be easy, guys. Now, I do want to say one thing. I also know, because I've talked to you guys before when we did the Bugfest shows and all that, you guys, as a matter of fact, kind of have some ideas that you'd like to keep everything the way it is and then add some things to it. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We like to bring this facility into the 90s of racing. We need to more customer comforts, more attractiveness, and make a facility that people want to come to, enjoy, and we're going to stay here and run this facility longer than Bob has.
Boy, I wish you the best of luck, because we need these facilities. These are very important to us. As a matter of fact, you were mentioning one time you were talking about doing something with putting up garages and stuff.
Yes, we'd like to create an atmosphere where bracket racers can have a garage of their own. They don't have to tow their race car. They can come here, work on their race car, race it here, and it can be a big family event that you don't have to go far to race your car.
Okay, folks, so for those of you that have been calling us, they even got a numbers guy here. So this is a legitimate thing. It's going to stay a racetrack. I couldn't be happier about it. I get real worried when I see housing projects encroaching and all that. Now, we are not exactly going to forget about Broadway Bob, because every year Broadway Bob does something very special here at the end of the season, his fan appreciation thing, and this year it is going to be more special than anything. I'm going to tell you something. If you've never been to a drag strip before in your life, you ought to attend this event, because everything is free. Free food. How many turkeys or chickens or whatever?
5 pigs, 36 turkeys, all the food and drinks that you want to eat possible.
All for free.
All for free.
This is the final time that Broadway Bob will own the track, the 40th year. This is a huge celebration, celebrating his achievements over the past 40 years. I hope it's going to be more than a fan appreciation from him to the fans. I hope this one's going to be from the fans to him, Bob, because we owe you a lot, and I bet you never think of it that way.
No, I don't, but I'll tell you what. A month from today, this weekend, October 8th and 9th, is going to be the party, the mother of all parties. I want all you people to be here. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great, and this is all free, folks, so don't cheat yourself. Take advantage of this and come up and shake. If you've 20 years ago, if you raced here, 30 years ago, if you raced here, I want you coming up here and thanking this guy, because we all owe him.
And if you never raced here, to come out and see what true racing is all about.
You're exactly right.
I have to say one thing, besides all the food, keep in mind, we're going to have funny cars, jet rockets, wheel standers,
there's no such thing as a jet rocket.
Everything here.
Okay, so it's going to be a complete thing, folks, and don't cheat yourself. Take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. Peggy, what'd you think today? Great time. This is the first time you've seen some of this stuff.
This is awesome. I love it. I could be here every day.
You're exactly right. As long as we're up here, I would like you to take and do the honors. Please tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
It's a relief to know that despite all the rumors, we're not going to lose another racetrack.
That's it for today, folks. We're out of time with only enough left to acknowledge the fine work of our award-winning production team, including Chuck Itzenthaler, John Kuchan, Keith Hansen, Mike Sabatino, and Tom McGrady. Special thanks to JBTV's Jerry Bryant. Music is created for us by Fireside Recording Studio in Westchester, Illinois, and by independent artist Roger Pauley and Jerry Herbert. Of course, we have to take a moment to thank the stars of this edition of Motorsports Unlimited: Crystal Kuchan, Peggy O'Donnell, Allison Namore, Joanne DiStefano, Stacy Hager, Lori McKeithrin, Chris Schutz, and our host, Bill Wilt. Me, I'm Tim Tarby, here to tell you it's time to get the snowmobiles ready. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
This program made possible in part by support from Dependable Carburetor, located on 35th Street, just west of Ashland Avenue in Chicago.
Motorsports Unlimited is produced by Bill Wilt, president of the Motorsport Advancement Crusade.
This program made possible in part by support from Westbrook Auto Repair, located on Franklin Avenue and Dora Street in Franklin Park.
Just burn my hand. Lord, it's hard to be a bachelor man. I got girls that can cook, I got girls that can clean, and I just got some girls do things in between. I gotta make ready, get everything right. Cause all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
This program made possible in part by support from the Race Fans Closet, located on LaGrange Road and 145th Street in Orland Park, Illinois. This program made possible in part by support from ABC Auto Parts, located on Ashland Avenue and 138th Street in Blue Island.
The Motorsport Advancement Crusade is a non-profit organization dedicated to the preservation and enhancement of motorsport. We are entirely funded by voluntary contributions. For more information, write Motorsport. Oh, you could write the whole thing, Motorsport Advancement Crusade if you like, but mail gets to us just fine, addressed Motorsport, P.O. Box 66242, Chicago, Illinois 60666, or just call area code 312-478-4224. We enjoy hearing from our audience and encourage you to call or write.
So that's it, another edition of Motorsports Unlimited and the lovely ladies of motorsports. And be with us next week because we'll have something real exciting. Bill Wilt's going to have the lovely ladies, and just about anything can happen right here on Motorsports Unlimited. Every week at this time, we bring you the best in motorsports. So be seeing ya. Bye-bye. And keep on rocking.